play. Now, let's take a look at the Saints offense. And feel free, guys, to chime into the conversation. Again, the number is 800-998-1003. You could call in, or you could come out here. We have the mics. We would love to have you guys come out here. We have tons of seats for y'all to come out and sit down and enjoy the show. We do appreciate the folks that's chiming in right now, checking us out. It is greatly appreciated.
For sure.
But, CL, I want you in the dome. See, this is the beautiful thing about this show, man. You know, we got the folks like myself like to watch TV, you know, sit at the crib, you know, get a little something cooking, maybe throw something on the grill. But, CL, if it's a home game, more than likely he's going to be there. So now I want to talk to you about the Saints' offense. He going anyway. Now I want to talk to you about the Saints' offense.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, he had 6 receptions. He led the team in receptions, 86 yards. I think the big difference, and you can clarify this, and you have to give props to Philadelphia for being able to be on top of this, but you have to look at it from the perspective of, man, they took Rashid Shaheed out of the game.
Yeah, which is quite curious to me because I think we did more of taking Shaheed out the game compared to what Philly did because majority of the game, and obviously Fave can speak to this being a former defensive lineman, you know, they ran that Bear defense and, you know, they were in the box and they tried to stop our run. But once again, I also believe we stopped our run because for the past two games, we averaged 40 rushes a game. This game, we only had 30. So I think we kind of played into their hand as well as, you know, Vic Fangio having a great scheme lined up for us with that Bear defense. But the fact that they stayed in the Bear the entire game kind of made me wonder, you know, why we went 22 or 11 personnel so much.
Yeah, and I also, as I always do, I appreciate Baldy. Brian Baldigger, he does a good job at doing the breakdowns of the different players. And Jalen Carter may have single-handedly annihilated the Saints' offensive scheme, and that's really what the issue was with Elvin's production. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys' defense, and CL, he agreed with me, he ready to rip it.
Yeah.
If you look at the Dallas Cowboys defense in game 2, Dak and them were able to try to come back, and they almost, you know, beat Baltimore at home.
Right.
But that Dallas defense not like it used to, but Philly's real, huh, CL?
Philly is real. And never to forget the fact that four plays in, a la Aaron Rodgers, we lose our center, Eric McCoy, in the middle, and it shuffles our best line. PFF in the last two weeks rated Eric McCoy and Patrick left guard. Patrick Lucas, the best 2 offensive linemen in football, PFF wise. So the fact that we lost McCoy, had to move Patrick from left guard to play center, and then now we have Udo at left guard.
Noodle.
Right, and then eventually Ruiz goes down even though he comes back. So we're shuffled that offensive line against those monsters that they have up front. And yes, Jalen Carter did wreck the game after that.
If y'all are just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, we're live here, baby, at Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. So if you happen to live on the West Bank, or you travel to the West Bank, or you work on the West Bank, stop on over here. Let us be what I like to call your snack dinner, right? You don't want to eat a full meal. You might want to do a smoothie or a shake when you get home, when you watch a little bit of Monday Night Football. Come get you a snack over at Small Sliders, or you can eat it right out here with us, enjoy the show, be able to chime in, etc.
It's called Small Sliders because it could be a small meal if you decide that you want to do that.
That's facts, baby. For real, though. This is going to be my small meal for the night. I'm going to get me the biggie.
Wait.
You know?
Wait, we just said we're going to go a small meal, and you said you're going to get the biggie?
That's still a small slider?
Yeah, but that's still 2 biggies.
And I said
that ain't going to be no.
I said
so you're going to get 1 biggie, and the other one going to be regular.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to either get the 1 biggie with the bread, or I'm going to get the 2 biggies with the bacon and no bread.
Oh.
I'm trying to tell you, it's more
Sound
life
like
with
a
that
win-win.
one. It's a win-win. CL is definitely right. Speaking of win-win, we're definitely going to have to get you guys. Oh, definitely. Oh, yes. Ooh. Kenzie just rolled up on his ass about them drinks. You better believe it.
Pretty please.
I take me a water.
Can I have a lemonade, please?
Thank you so much, Kenzie.
Please.
So,
Thank you.
What I definitely will say is Monday Night Football is tonight.
It is.
We do have an exciting 2 games. Jacksonville I want to see they take on Buffalo. I already know who CL rolling with on that one. And then we get to watch two of LSU's latest Heisman Trophy winners go head-to-head as Washington takes on the struggling Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
But see, I want to get back to the Saints game. We're going to talk about those games here coming up in a few segments. Speaking of coming up in a few segments, we'll be joined by off the bench's very own T-Bob Abel. He's going to come on and chop it up with us.
Sure.
We're going to talk a little LSU. We'll have him later on in this hour. But CL, another thing I want to talk about, I know we were talking about Jalen Carter earlier.
Yeah. Big boy.
They were moving him around. He knocked Trevor Penning back, I want to say 3 yards, tackle Alvin Kamara, tackle for loss. They moved him over to Luke Patrick. Same thing. We see the same thing happen.
Right.
Do you see this team struggling against those big, heavy, strong interior linemen? Because, I mean, you do have that a little bit in Atlanta, in a couple of these other games we have coming up.
I don't necessarily see them struggling. What happened was in the midst of the game, in prime time, if you will, we had to make adjustments. We had to move our left guard to center and then bring in a backup. So quintessentially, Carter was going against backups, and obviously, this guy is amazing. His last year wasn't as productive as he wanted it to be. Coming into this year, I think Vic Fangio challenged him, And I think, unfortunately, the New Orleans Saints also challenged him by chirping to him on the sideline. So
that was a big mistake.
So in a movie business, we call that a perfect storm. Like, you created all these conditions to make this player show you who he really is, and I think that's what happened.
And CL, as we wrap here, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this next. Man, Eric McCoy going down and getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big deal.
Major.
That was major. Like you said, they had to bump Buddy inside. My mind slips me. And Luke Patrick had to come in. They had to do some moving around. So, I mean, that affected the Saints greatly in yesterday's matchup. But, hey, let's look at the bright side. This defense is still playing good, able to create turnovers. Tyrann Mathieu. He's still able to get things done and do it in a major way. And in CL, we can't forget at the same token as we wrap here, it's good that they did draft it and did what they did in free agency the way they did in the center guard.
And I know we're about to jump out of here, but let's not underestimate the importance of a Taysom Hill, especially on third down.
Well, we're here, baby, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. It's small sliders, baby. Y'all slide through. We'll be here till 8 o'clock. Y'all come on through. Enjoy yourselves with us, man. And look, when we come back, we're going to look at the remainder Saints schedule, baby.
Yep.
We're definitely going to check that out for sure. And one thing we can say is it's still a beautiful schedule, and we still could be Super Bowl bound. It's Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans. Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through. 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You can do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now, I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon Big Favorite. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right. When you take your career to the next level, play college, and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com for more information. Hello, somebody. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, all of our listeners, everybody that check us out on New Orleans Talk Network, all of y'all who streams us. We appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. And we want to thank our sponsors as well, baby. We right here, Small Sliders Live. Thank you, Small Sliders, for providing us with this. change up at one position, right?
Red Rifle.
Red Rifle gets out there, boy. I'm telling you, the NFL memes page on Instagram is funny, boy. I got to show you that when we're on break.
Was that boy working at the small sliders?
They did have him. You saw bro. You saw it. For real, shouts out to Small. They got that boy working at Small. Hey, man, but see, this is what I will say. If the Saints go through this next 3-game gauntlet, 2-1, sing the songs. Okay. Right now, the best teams in the NFL, I just got to be real, is in the NFC for the most part.
For the most part.
The Vikings are playing lights out.
Undefeated.
Yes, the Saints, they stay in the conversation because even though that the Saints lost this game, it was 15-12.
Right. The defense still showed up.
The Bucks. Now, the Bucks lost yesterday to, my mind slips me. Was it Denver? They lost to Denver. They did lose to Denver. So
Coach got him one. But you realize Coach know Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Right. They were able to, just stifle them just enough. And, obviously Denver was able to do just enough, and they get the win over Tampa Bay.
Final score, 26-7. 26-7 final score. Coach Payton saw something in Bo Nix during the draft. He started off the season really slow, y'all.
Right.
23 and 30 for 36 attempts, 216 yards versus Baker Mayfield's similar 25 for 33, 163.
Well, I bring this up. It's not hard math when you take the number one corner in the National Football League and you tell him, hey, go take away the best guy on the other side.
Oh, Pat.
LePat really showed them boys yesterday what it was like to be not just the number one corner in the league, but the highest paid corner in the league, and he showed it yesterday against Tampa Bay Bucks.
That he did. And like I said, you mentioned Tampa. Tampa's one of the top teams. The way that Atlanta is playing right now, Atlanta almost beat Kansas City yesterday.
It was closer than people realize.
If the refs, I'm going to call it what it is. Look, people can say what they want to say on all their shows. When y'all listen to Inside the Trenches from 6 to 8 on Monday here at Small Sliders, we're going to tell it like it is. If it wasn't for the refs, Atlanta wins that game yesterday, period. The way that they were playing, we have to tilt our hat, even here on Hate Week. I love good football. I do think the Saints win this game. But I will say this. The moves that Atlanta made all the way to the 11th hour, I mean, legit, it's July, middle of July. Shouts out to the homie BT Jordan. Me, Drake, couple of my other partners, we out there at the Pass Rush Academy. He was a Patriot.
Yeah.
By the time the training camp was rolling, he was Atlanta Falcon.
Number 15.
That's one of those moves, CL, you have to give the proper respect to Atlanta for making those right moves and to make this game much more competitive this week.
Well, if you know people that know me, they realize that I'm able to give backwards compliments all day long. So we're going to compliment the Atlanta Falcons by being smart enough to get the GM from the New Orleans Saints, Terry Fontenot, to get players to their team. We're going to give the Atlanta Falcons credit enough to be smart enough to listen to young Fontenot and bring a Matthew Judon in from a New England Patriots that stint had ran its course. And, of course, to get a Simmons, one of Pat's old teammates from the Broncos, to come on that back end to tandem up with 3, the other safety.
Yeah.
And, of course, Simmons has matched Patrick Mahomes off the most at 6 interceptions, and then he gets Patrick in the end zone in that game, which keeps the game closer than it should have been.
Real talk. And it's so many flags that should have been thrown in Atlanta's favor, but this is what I will say. And then shots out, and listen, I don't want y'all, look, I'm not team jumping. I just call it how it is when I meet people. I am rolling with the Saints, so I want y'all to know that. But I will say this. Arthur Blanks is a cool guy. Met him at the Super Bowl a few years ago, interviewed him. You've been to Atlanta. You could take $20 and get full, bro. I can appreciate that.
And I do appreciate the idea of what Mr. Blank was doing, by making the concessions more affordable for the fans. I don't necessarily like the fans, but I do understand and respect the settlement, right?
Yes,
but
indeed.
I will say this, Mr. Blank really threw me for a tizzy when he inducted himself into the Ring of Honor in Atlanta, which I don't think I've ever seen that before, Fade.
Well, I'm surprised Jerry ain't do
I'm
something
saying
like that yet.
Jerry not even in his own Ring of Honor. Mr. Blank decided he gonna get it his own.
Well, he's the executive producer
Michael Vick, Arthur Blank, Jesse Tugger, Deion Sanders.
He threw prime in that thing after what, just 3 years there?
Yeah, well, I mean, he built that house. You know, we don't have to go through that. We know what prime did.
Yep, no doubt.
It's crazy.
So let's take a closer look at this game. ESPN has it 51.1% that New Orleans is going to win this game, 48.5. Too close for comfort. This past week performance against Philly really put that like that in the perspective. The same thing goes for Atlanta. I told you this last week. I feel like the Saints are going to beat the Chiefs, and then look what happens against Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relevant, right? The Chiefs played Atlanta last night. You know, imagine all the film I've watched in the past 12 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the Chiefs plays Atlanta. The Chiefs have the Atlanta already played Philly. We played Philly yesterday. We're going to have to play Atlanta and the Chiefs in the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. So it's all relevant. It's all scouting. Everybody's looking at everybody. Everybody's also beating up on everybody. So shouts out to the trainers, not across the NFL, because it's a war of attrition and who is going to get their guys healthy enough to play. Because I also believe not only did Philly take some injuries, so did Kansas City. Took a few injuries moving forward. They won't have Pacheco moving forward.
Right, that was a big loss for them.
Right.
By numbers, Derek Carr right now is 44 for 64, 585 yards on the season, 2 interceptions. As far as Cousins go, 56 for 84, 626 yards, 400 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. In the rushing game, we have Alvin Kamara, 61 carries, 285 yards. Most of them happened last week against Dallas. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in week 3, we have Bijan Robinson. He only scored 1 touchdown, which was on yesterday. Shouts out to my FanDuel, because I did have him scoring a touchdown.
I knew it.
And then lastly here, CL, as we wrap here, because I want to hear quickly from you about these guys. Chris Olave, man, they've had a plan for him, but didn't really have a plan for a guy.
Well, you know, the thing about Fasheed is he has to get touches, not deep bombs, not big plays, touches. He needs to touch the ball at least 5 times a game, not just 3 targets with because he had no catches. So he has to get touches to be effective in this league, because he's not a secret anymore.
It's Inside the Trenches, baby. We live here at Small Sliders. Starting to get a little pack out house out here. Shouts out to our folks deciding to have their meal out here with us and enjoy the show. Yes, indeed. When we come back, oh, yes, baby, it's the Heisman on Heisman tonight. That's like baby on baby. We're going to talk a little bit about Monday Night Football. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN New Orleans. Hello, somebody. Are you looking for wheels, but you need it at a reasonable price? Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through. 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You can do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information. And look, you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy, Mark. Right, and we live here at Small Sliders, baby. That's right, 1635 Barataria Boulevard and Marrero. Want to take this time to thank a few of our sponsors. One being Godwyn Realty, that's right, baby, located right there on Magazine Street. Y'all can hit Joel up, joel@godwynrealty.com. And we also want to take this time to thank Montero Motors for all that they do for the show and their support. Remember, they're at 1512 North Causeway Boulevard in Metairie, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Holla at my boy Alberto. I got $500. I got 5 on it. Yeah, $500.
It's back.
It's back, brother. We got it rolling. I talked to Alberto earlier today. He said, man, folks come over there with that 500 of that Marlon money. Got them covered like a blanket, baby. That is it. That is it. Well, one thing that we're excited about is Monday Night Football is actually going down right now. You have Jacksonville taking on Buffalo. It is
early game.
Early game. It started at it was a 6:30 kickoff, I want to say.
Yes, sir.
A little bit before. I think it might have been 6:20. Well, right now it's 11 and 49 minutes in the first. 11 minutes and 49 seconds in the first quarter. Buffalo is moving the ball down the field there on Jacksonville's 19-2nd and 9. So I'm pretty sure they're about to punch it in. Well, CL, let's talk about this matchup, why don't we? James Cook is playing at a high level. He's a scoring machine.
Yes.
Josh Allen has new weapons around him. He has Shakur. He has Coleman. When you look at this Buffalo team, and I mentioned this about New Orleans, like the way we started off against Carolina, the way we started off against Dallas, it reminded me of most of those Buffalo teams.
Right.
High-scoring points, just high-scoring action. You got these 2 AFC teams going head-to-head tonight, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Your thoughts on this matchup, man?
Well, in some circles, they call it Paul Bunyan versus Goldilocks, right?
Pretty much. That's a good
but shouts out to those, uber talented gentlemen, right? We speak about Josh Allen being the face of the league and, how they needed him to run less and throw more. They go get Diggs. Diggs gets 1,000 yards a year, and it still doesn't matriculate to a Super Bowl. And so they decided to get rid of all the parts and revamp, and you brought up James Cook, who is a very important cognitive to this offense, brother of Dalvin Cook. Running the ball is important for Buffalo because they don't need to put it all on Josh. Now, of course, we're talking about Goldilocks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have a lot of things going on, but the one thing they do have going on is the combination of Goldilocks. And I'm sorry, Mr. Lawrence and ETN. It's almost like Alvin Kamara.
Right.
They're very in sync with each other, and they're very doable out the backfield. What's gonna happen in this game is, will Buffalo be able to continue, because their red zone offense is not as good as it should be, and because of advertised, everybody knows when the field shrinks, you're gonna look for big number 17 to run it in.
Yeah, when you look at the way this Bills team started off the season, taking on the Cardinals, kick it off 34-28. The Cardinals do look a little better this year, obviously in the receiving position as well with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Sure.
Then they beat the Dolphins. This is a Dolphins team, if I'm not mistaken. This is the game that Tua got hurt? Yes, it was.
Yes.
This is the game Tua got hurt.
Right.
So, they ended up beating the Dolphins 31-10. But you look at this matchup against Jacksonville, you have a young Jacksonville team that has potential. They're led by a capable quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. He has Ridley. He has Etienne in the backfield. Young talent. That's what, when I think of Jacksonville, I think of young talent. I think of good in the next few years, could make some noise depending on how things go. But tonight's game will tell the tale because, you're looking at a Jacksonville team. They lost to the Dolphins first game of the season. That's the Tyreek Hill game here.
Right.
The rest of the game, right? Then they lose to, in my opinion, a somewhat struggling Browns team. A Browns team that is really searching for an identity.
For sure.
They really are.
They really are.
They lose to New York 21-15. Then they lose to Jacksonville earlier this year.
They talking about trading Cooper.
Yep,
Like,
I did
that's
hear
crazy,
that too. But I'm also hearing, and this makes sense for Miami to trade for Russell Wilson. It makes sense because it looks like Justin Fields has the hot hand there in Pittsburgh, and they're going to need a capable quarterback. But that's just a sidebar for that team. But when you look at this Jacksonville team, they're 0-2 going against Buffalo 2-0. They may be hungry for a win and could cause an upset tonight.
In reality, everybody wants to get off the schneid, right? Nobody wants to not win a game. It's no fun. Not even, imagine flying home and there are no fans at the airport like they are when you win. And football players are human beings, and you read the press. You already know. In the beginning of the season, everybody's hopeful. Everybody's 0-0. And everybody's hopeful. But one thing about the league, it's a very humbling place, and reality sets in quickly, especially when you start off 0-2.
Well, it looks like we have a first and goal. They're on Jacksonville 7. It's 10 minutes and 21 seconds in the game. Buffalo is just, moving the ball at its will. 9 plays, 63 yards. Looking at this thing play by play, of course, Josh Allen was going to have Barswell involved.
Right.
That he had got him in a shotgun. James Cook is going to do his thing running the ball. He had 15 yards rushing. So it's just this seems like when you look at Coach McDermott, his approach is
touchdown Cook.
Cook just shouts out to Cook. James Cook just scored. I had to high five my co-host because I definitely needed that for my ESPN bet. Shouts out to ESPN
We
bet.
cover all things that inside
yes,
the
indeed.
trenches.
And look, y'all, feel free. I appreciate this family out here chilling, eating with us. Y'all come on out here and have a meal with us at Small Sliders, delicious menu. And, chime in as well if you're driving in, 800-998-1003. Joining us in the next segment, we'll have T-Bob Hebert from Off the Bench, my old teammate from LSU.
Okay.
He's going to talk a little bit of LSU, so stick around for when he comes on the show. And then, of course, you can, if you're at home and you're out of the car, like you're about 5-10 minutes from the home and you got to get off the radio, you could go to the New Orleans Talk Network's YouTube page, and you could check me and CL out live. We would love to hear you guys chime in on that as well.
Yeah, and so it holds true. Buffalo gets in the red zone. They need to run it in, and not with Josh Allen. The field is compressed. They realize that they have to be a more forceful team inside the red zone. They make it happen. Jacksonville gets the ball. What are they gonna do?
No doubt. I'm interested in seeing how Jacksonville is going to respond.
Definitely.
It should be very similar. You know, you look at their attack. They have a talented running back. They have a running back that can for certainly get the job done in Travis Etienne. They have a winner in the running back. You have a winner in the quarterback. You know, thank y'all for hanging out with us. You have a winner in a quarterback with Trevor Lawrence, who's had his fair share of wins in college and has the potential that he has. But I think ultimately for Jacksonville, they're going to have to play exceptionally well on the defensive side of the ball because, I mean, if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, what you called him earlier? What you called Josh Allen earlier? The beanstalk. You said something.
Oh no.
It was funny though. It was funny.
Not Jolly Giant. The other guy.
Yeah, the Jolly. I think he said,
what did I call Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
From Wyoming.
That's a big threat for them.
Yeah,
you know, he can run the ball exceptionally well.
He's
kind of like
6'5".
the new Cam Newton. Yeah, he has the size.
He's a big guy. He jumps over guys.
Right.
At 6'5".
And he can throw the ball exceptionally well. So I mean, when you look at a guy like Josh Allen, you want to go score for him with him because he can score at his will.
I have a question for you, Faye.
What you got?
And I'm a numbers guy. You know, some people call me the GM. You know, I look at a lot of the various of things when we look at football, and I noticed that Trevor Lawrence's winning percentage and record, it mirrors Daniel Jones's. When we could go and I love to see you that. I'll send it to you because I've already
elaborate.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is that they've already extended him again already. So I think he's in the $225 million range.
That's exactly what
with
you're
the
saying.
same record as Daniel Jones. With them tying themselves, with Jacksonville tying themselves to Trevor Lawrence like that with the $225 million contract, do you believe moving forward they will be able to get defensive players? I mean, because obviously they're not a free agent landing spot. I should know. Shouts out to Jacksonville Duval for taking me in after Katrina. It's not a place for free agents. And I was a free agent and I ain't won't go.
Oh, man.
So, shouts out to Duval. But it's not a free agent landing spot. They spent so much money on this quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he might be making $55 or $53 million a year with a record like that.
55?
Yeah. So is that a recipe for being better, or are they just making sure that they have a quarterback in place moving forward?
I think when you look at this Jacksonville team, they spent the first round money on Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Right. They went traded for Gabe Davis from Buffalo.
Overpaid. Oh. Jesus Christ.
You got Christian Kirk. I'm with you. I think in their mindset, we're going to put weapons around him, and eventually he's going to do what Joe Burrow did, right? I guess they're looking at it like that, which Joe's starting off struggling. But to your point, they can use some more players on defense. So that stands true as well. So, I mean, it will be an interesting matchup. Of course, later on in this hour two, we're going to get into this next matchup between Washington
Bengal Bowl.
I like the Bayou Bengal Bowl.
The Bayou Bengal Bowl.
So I look forward to talking about that matchup as well. But I mean, right now Jacksonville is 2nd and 9. It's 8 minutes and 57 seconds. In the first quarter, it's 3rd and 9. I'm wondering what they're going to do on this play.
And they have to stay out of the long distance 3 and long. They just have to, because eventually Buffalo's going to pin their ears back.
Yes, there is. Yes, they will. That they will. Well, listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Inside the Trenches, baby. Y'all don't go nowhere. We got more in hour one. And our next segment, we'll be joined by my old teammate from the LSU Tigers, my main man, T-Bob Abel. Me and T-Bob going to chop it up. We're going to chop it up with CL, talk a little LSU moving forward and how things have to go. And then, of course, man, we're going around the league to talk about these other games that you guys should check out for this week coming, baby. It's Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon Big Fave Favorite. I got CL Nola with me. We're streaming live on New Orleans Talk Network, and we're here on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
It's Ram Power Days at Southland Dodge Chrysler.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Montero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Yes, indeed, baby. Welcome back. It's your boy Marlon Big Favorite. And that's right, y'all guys are listening to Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN New Orleans, 100.3 FM. I have my co-host CL Nola joining me. We got the crew of New Orleans Talk Network out here. My girl Kinsey. Got my main man Keelan out here. And of course that boy Wright. Getting things rolling over here. Yeah, man, I'm feeling the Keelan is out here on these beats, man, getting things going.
Come on.
Definitely. I'm really enjoying it. Well, as promised, my next guest really needs no introduction, especially if you listen to 100.3 FM all day, every day. In the mornings, him and my other teammate, Jacob Hester, get y'all to work with all the sports intel y'all need, and they make it fun. They have a lot of fun on the show. Well, my next guest is the co-host of Off the Bench on ESPN 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. My main man, an old teammate from them Go Tigers, baby. T-Bob Abel. What's happening, T-Bob?
Hey, what's happening? What you doing?
Man, all is well. Me and my man CL over here, brother, talking a little bit of New Orleans Saints and going around the league. Let's start there. Let's start with the New Orleans Saints. You know me, brother. I'm a defensive guy at first. 15-12, yeah. I'm upset that we lost that matchup against the Eagles, but, I mean, you got to still give props to the Saints defense, man, the way they playing.
Yeah, I mean, you take Jalen Hurts, you force a fumble, you pick him off, you get 2 turnovers on downs. Like, you essentially force 4 turnovers. It's just – and you hold the rope for your offense all day long. And then in just a classic football, NFL, razor-thin margins sort of way, the offense finally comes through at the end, gets you the lead, and it looks like you got 3rd and 15 set up, and then it's that little hand to the face from Lombard. Taylor, only a 5-yard penalty right first down, and you got the crossing route debacle. And then next thing you know, it's like your defense holds all day, and then the one time when you absolutely need the hold, they just can't quite get it. But I'm not mad at it, dude. I'm not mad at it. I mean, look, you knew somebody was going to counter what you've been doing. Turns out how heavy you've been going offensively and how great of an effect you've been using it to. And you didn't have a couple of very important pieces. Like Eric McCoy going down is awful. I don't know how they're going to make up for that going forward. But then, like, I feel like not enough was made of, like, no Taysom Hill. I mean, this is a very, very Shanahan-esque, Shanahan parallel system. And, like, who's, like, one of the most important pieces in that offense for the Niners? It's Kyle Juszczyk. For the Saints, it's Taysom Hill. He's the short yardage power. He creates a lot of interesting mismatches, a lot of interesting looks the defense has to account for. And credit to the Eagles. I think they did a good job of going big on the line, and really Jalen Carter felt like he won that game. So they did a good job of going big on the line, but still having coverage in the back end and not allowing Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave to pick them apart like the Panthers and the Cowboys did.
You know, thanks for coming, T-Bob. Obviously, everybody knows that you're a former offensive lineman, and you kind of took some of my steam because you hit on some points that I hit. But explain to the normal fan how important it is or how bad it is when you do lose your center, the guy that makes all the calls, the guy that makes the adjustments on the offensive line and transfers that information to the other four players.
I mean, so it's bad for anybody losing that, right? For all the reasons you just said. I mean, generally that's going to be the guy making the protection calls, identifying the defense, making the combo calls. Now, the quarterback can always override him on, like, mic declarations and whatnot. But, like, that's always important. Where it gets been crazier for the Saints is this is an offensive line that is already not the best, very young and inexperienced, and he was their leader and by far their best player. I mean, I think Eric McCoy was the highest graded center in the NFL through 2 weeks for PFF. So at your biggest question mark position, you just lost your best and your most confident player and the leader of the group.
That's right.
And it's O-line, which is, arguably a top 3 position group on the field considering what they do for the quarterback. And it's probably especially impactful considering that while Derek Carr has been better this year with pressure in his face, there's a limit to what he's going to be able to do.
Yep.
Right.
And you saw that in this game where for the first time that the weakness of that O-line was really felt. So, I mean, I haven't kept up all day yet. What's the do we have any more news on the seriousness of McCoy's injury?
I think we're still in wait and holding. We all know that it's a growing, we know how sensitive that is. So I think we're still in holding, I guess, on the level of severity of it. But even moving forward, how do we mesh this O-line in the middle of hate week? Not knowing what's going on with McCoy, realizing that maybe we can help out the offense by maybe running the ball a little more because we've averaged 40 rushes in the first 2 weeks. Yesterday we only rushed the ball, I believe, 29 or 30 times. So do you see that being a game plan going forward against Atlanta, us maybe running the ball more and throwing it less?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely think that, like, ideally they would run it that much. I think that those numbers from the first 2 weeks are maybe a little bit skewed because you jumped out of these early leads and because you were having a lot of first and second down, or you're staying on schedule.
Right. Not too
a lot
many
better
third
in those
downs.
first 2 games, creating, more manageable third downs, just leave more of the playbook open. And the Eagles are doing a really good job of kind of beating you up front. So, yeah, I mean, the Saints need to be a run-first team if they're going to be successful. Derek Carr's at his best off the play action. Run blocking's easier than pass blocking. I mean, as far as, like, what do you do this week, that's just, man, That's just the NFL, man. You're a pro. You got to try to find a way, which is not great to hold your hat on. But I will say this. Clint Kubiak did a really good job of kind of masking that group's weaknesses in the first couple of weeks. So, I at least like him being the one trying and figure it out.
No doubt. If y'all are just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, joining us right now is my little bro, baby, T-Bob Abel. Y'all be sure to follow him on X at T-Bob53, and y'all can check them out from 7 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday right here on ESPN New Orleans. Off the bench, him and my homie Jacob Hester. Let's switch gears, man. Let's go to our team, LSU Tigers. Big loss, Harold Perkins out for the year. Just a devastating set of newsletter from LSU to hear that. Going to be tough to replace. I mean, we got the Weeks brothers in the middle. Strategically, T-Bob, how do you think we handle that?
You know, it's interesting. I feel really, really awful for Harold on a personal level because I feel like these last couple of years for him has probably got to be pretty personally frustrating where he burst on the scene. He was such a phenom. And then last year he was really good, but all he kind of hurt was that he wasn't.
Yeah. T-Bob, you can hear us? I think we lost him, but I know what T-Bob was about.
Okay.
There we go.
I guess like a better season, like 95% of people. But then the problem is his expectations are so high, so you're like more. And the switch this year just was not working, really. There were a couple flashes, but he never looked comfortable. It seemed like he's catching a lot of blocks, and he doesn't have the size for that. And so guys have just been kind of locking on to him and just having their way with him once they get on him. So I don't know, man. It's weird. I feel awful for Harold personally, and I hope whatever he does, NFL return, whatever. I mean, if this is the last time we see him in an LSU uniform, that is devastating. But, I don't think it's actually some sort of death knell for this defense. You don't get better. But, I don't know if it's, as bad as maybe when, Jacoby and Guillory got hurt just because what he meant to that group. Although I like how scrappy the interior is playing right now.
Yeah.
But so I don't think it's a make or break thing for the for the defense. But man, I feel absolutely awful for Perkins. And you don't get better. You're not getting better. It's just not maybe as impactful as you would have thought it was going to be if I told you I was going to have before the season.
Yeah, right. And it's tough how we're going to have to handle this moving forward. You know, we're already struggling defensively and offensively, particularly in that box on defense and on the O-line. T-Bob, we got about another 30 seconds here with you. Before we let you go, LSU's offensive line, man, it just seemed that Jaden Daniels have been hiding that line with his ability to run at will and the way he ran. We look like we found somebody in Caden Durham at the running back position. Do you see this offensive line as the year progressed being maybe a little more aggressive with the run blocking?
Look, I think they're elite pass blockers. I think when it comes to run blocking, they need to do a bit better job of firing off the ball. I think they're getting a bit better there. I don't think they're going to be great or anything by the end of the year. But I think Williams is starting to find it. I feel like we saw Jackson. You mentioned Caden Durham. Obviously, that speed. Look at that swing pass. Look, this offensive line was good. Garrett Nussmeier was just SEC Player of the Week. Ray Pitts is SEC Player of the Week. It's not where you thought it was going to be preseason, maybe, but it ain't that bad. I see people acting a little too hangdog about this team.
Yes, indeed. Well, man, T-Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I got to get you back on after that Ole Miss game. We got to chop it up on the week of Ole Miss. And listen, y'all can check. Yes, indeed. Thank you again, my brother. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's going to be tough. Well, he's T-Bob Abel. Remember, y'all can check him out on Off the Bench Monday through Friday right here on ESPN New Orleans 100.3 FM. Yes, indeed, man. We got ourselves a roll coming up here with LSU getting this thing going, man. But it's going to be all right. They take on South Alabama, TCL this weekend. Get his team at least another week to kind of recoup.
Yeah, figure out what you're going to do without 4, you know. And like I say, my heart goes out to 4 because I know how hard he worked to get back. But now he can focus on what he wants to do next year.
It's Inside the Trenches, baby. We'll be back hour 2, talk a little more NFL on ESPN New Orleans.
Are you looking for wheels, but you need it at a reasonable price? Look no further.
Are you looking for
Montero.
your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now, I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with your boy Marlon Big Favorite. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and it's Inside the Trenches, hour 2, as promised. We're still here at Small Sliders in Marrero. 1635 Barataria Boulevard, baby. We representing over here. I got my man CL Noel as my co-host. Y'all know in hour 2, we like to dive into a little bit of high school football. So I got my man JB from Hash It Out Pod gonna come on and talk to us about some of the local high school games. So if y'all riding, yeah, you might hear us talk about your baby if he plays for one of them teams around here. Speaking of around, let's go around the league, CL. Let's take a little ride around the NFL. I know we talked about the Jacksonville and Buffalo game that's currently going on right now, and what do you know? 13-0. Buffalo is up in the first quarter.
Another red zone score by the Buffalo Bills. A Kincaid tight end across the middle.
I mean, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love that this team. You know, you lose your big target. You lose your big target in Stephon Diggs to Houston.
Yeah, less is more for Buffalo, right? Because now they can't pin in on one guy. They know they have to spread it around. So instead of a Gabe making a touchdown, instead of a Diggs making a touchdown, now it's a Cook. Now it's a Kincaid. You know, so I think Buffalo is on the right track. You know, but once again, this is a game of attrition. So we'll see.
Man, we knew that this was a wacky week too, bro. Like I woke up this Monday morning like, what happened yesterday? Going through all my NFL memes through Ghetto Gronk and NFL memes. It's just regular NFL check down. And the leaders throughout week 3 was crazy. The wins were crazy. I'll start with the Chiefs barely getting by the Falcons. 22-17 is a game where Kirk Cousins is showing that he is Kirk Cousins. As we mentioned earlier, I thought the refs helped them out a lot in that game. What do you know, and what do you think about this? Just like that, I'm thinking the Rams has a retired Aaron Donald, right? I don't know how they're going to recover in regards to talent up front. You know, they drafted well, but you could tell they have a good coach because it's been a while since we've seen this. 27-24, the 49ers lose to the Rams on yesterday?
Yeah, that was a big I wouldn't want to call it an upset, but that was a big surprise. You know, but once again, why do we underestimate the Rams? The Rams have a good team. You know, obviously Aaron Donald, or losing Aaron Donald is tremendous, but the weapons around the offense still produces points. Can the defense? So, you know, getting stops sometimes is a drop pass. Getting stops sometimes is a holding call on them. You know, sometimes in this league, most likely you better be good. But sometimes in this league, you can get, and I don't want to call the Rams lucky, but sometimes it pays to be a little lucky. Sometimes it pays for the ball to bounce your way.
Sometimes it's just the luck. So the Lions beat the Cardinals 20-13. Seattle beats the Dolphins 24-3. They got to figure it out down there in Miami, what they're going to do at the quarterback position. Jameis. Famous Jameis. And Russell, their agents should be hearing from a few teams.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I mean, look at it. One thing you cannot deny about Jameis is that his deep passes are still on point. Yep. He got Tyreek, he got Weddle. You know, it makes sense. They're not going to start him over Watson, so it makes sense. Now the Russell deal, I think Coach Tomlin is kind of itching to see what else he has in Russell, because remember, Russell signed for a ham sandwich. So why would we give him away, you know, not knowing what he can do? Because now they know what they have with Fields. Now they need to know what they have with Russell.
Well, you would look at Russell. You would definitely take a honest, quick peek at Russell. Yeah, they did get him for a ham sandwich, but return on investment, if you got him for a ham sandwich and Miami need him bad, you make them go in the pocketbook for some conventional draft picks, maybe a player that you need. You see where I'm going with that? Yeah. The youngins, man, what about these youngins? The Colts do beat the Bears yesterday, 21-16. Caleb Williams was 33 for 54, had 363 yards. He is now leading the league in passing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, when you throw the ball 54 times.
Yeah, they wearing his arm out, bro. As a youngster, and then you go on the other side of the ball, Andy Richardson was 10 for 20, 167.
It just shows me that Chicago still have not learned how to develop a quarterback. You know, we talked about this. There's actual reels that tell me telling you that he's in the same position that Justin Fields was in last year. It's just that he has a couple of more weapons, a couple of more names to mention with the debacleness that's going on. I don't know if debacleness is a real word. Y'all bear with me, ESPN.
Siri, is debacleness a real word? Siri might have us covered. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, you know, so they have problems developing the quarterback in Chicago. And And don't get me wrong, I'm no offensive guru, but having your rookie quarterback throw the ball 54 times is not a recipe for wins.
I'm still waiting on Siri to let me know if the Bacchus was a word. 800-998-1003.
Somebody tell us.
Somebody tell us, is the Bacchus a word? Or you can tweet me at BigFave504. Same thing with CL. Yeah, I mean, the tail of the tape is there, CL. We're looking at the numbers now. 63 yards rushing total, right? Passing, 363 yards. Yeah, you're wearing a young man on.
You're not helping him.
And I shouldn't have left Roma Doozy on my bench because I would have got a lot of points. Next game, boy, the Giants. I saw a meme that had a Bugatti parked under a shack, like a terrible-looking house.
I'm familiar.
And they said it's Malik Neighbors playing for the Giants right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Saquon all over again, right?
Two touchdowns, except he's a receiver.
Super talented guy on a not-so-great football team. You know, they decided to go with Daniel Jones and paying him $60 million and not sign Saquon. Quintessentially let Saquon walk out the door to a rival in their division, to the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, maybe is it fair to say that the New York Giants is not an organization that pretty much knows what they're doing right now? So, you know, there's parity in the league and then there's stupidity in the league. But, you know, I digress.
Yeah, looking at it by numbers, you have to say, okay, what was the tail of the tape of this game? And, you know, they tried to find balance. They were 112, for rushing, getting the ball to Singletary, Tracy Jr., Daniel Jones ran for 20 yards, and Malik Neighbors on 4. Looked like they tried to use Malik in a number of ways, passing, rushing, and receiving, because he was 0 for 1 with the passing. It's just a team that just, again, you got a superstar and a receiver. You made a bad decision at quarterback. Speaking of bad decisions at quarterback, this is somewhat a bad decision, right? Deshaun Watson. He was 21 for 37 yesterday, 196. Wasn't horrible, right? But they didn't win, right? Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 86 yards. I'm with you. I don't really know what to say about this team.
Can the real Cleveland Browns stand up? Can the real Cleveland Browns stand up? You have the tools on defense. You're a defensive team. The offense has not necessarily been there to help you. But it seems like to me they're working against themselves. You have a Deshaun Watson, but then at the same time you have a Nick Chubb. The combination of the Chubb and the defense is the winning combination. The combination of Watson and the defense is not the winning combination. But I'm just a assistant GM for the New Orleans Saints. What can I say?
Right, and I mean we probably got to tilt our
Who
hat.
am I?
We probably got to tilt our hat to the GM for Green Bay because Malik Willis wasn't washed up, right? They beat the Tennessee Titans yesterday. I don't know what's going on with Will Levis, right? So the irony of that, right, CL? But
the irony of it is Malik Willis goes back to Tennessee, who drafted him and who ultimately released him, goes into Tennessee, gets a win as a backup quarterback. Talking about a franchise that knows how to develop quarterbacks in the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
They got a guy that quintessentially was a third stringer in Tennessee, is now a starter in Green Bay, and has not lost a game.
Yeah. This year has been screaming coaching staff. Mike Tomlin now with Justin Fields, totally different story than when he was in Chicago. And then we're seeing in real time what Chicago does is not developing quarterbacks well because we're seeing what's happening with Caleb Williams, right? So change the scenery worked for Malik Willis. He was 13 for 19, 202 yards, but he had 73 yards rushing. In addition to that, you know, he had his receivers where he evenly distributed. You had 13 receiving yards, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers he found. They beat Tennessee. We'll go through a couple of more scores. We talked about the Steelers, 20-10. The Cowboys lost a nail biter, only losing by 3 points. They tried to pull it off, 28-25. The Panthers, the Red River Rifle, right?
Red Rifle.
Red Rifle. You got to respect, the Panthers coming through and pulling off a win. But I want to go to this Vikings game real quick, CL, as we wrap this up. Sam Darnold, to me, has been one of the more interesting stories of this season. I mean, in New York with the Jets, he was seeing ghosts. Carolina couldn't make use of them. We think it's over in Minnesota when J.J. McCarthy went down. But, I mean, Sam Darnold, lead the lead in a couple of statistical categories, and he's been playing some pretty good ball here.
I'm not surprised. Sam Darnold was a first-round draft pick. Where did he go? He went to the Jets. The Jets are a trash organization, respectfully. Geno Smith goes to the Jets. They're a trash organization. Geno Smith goes to Seattle. He balls out. Darnold goes to Minnesota with people around him. He balls out. Change of scenery is always a good, well, not always a good thing, but change of scenery could definitely be a good thing, especially when you're getting away from the Jets. Because to be a good player for the Jets, you damn near have to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, I mean, that's real. And we see that going on
Broadway
now with
Joe.
You feel me? And
Aaron
look,
Rodgers.
24-3, they beat the Patriots. I mean, this is the same Patriots team that beat Cincinnati.
Yep.
This has just been, like I told y'all, this has been a very interesting season. And I have to say, it was impressive to see the Vikings beat Houston, because I thought after last week, I'm like, man, the only team that can probably see New Orleans right now is Houston. And,
Right.
I mean, how humbling for C.J. Stroud. Well, he was just, hey, Caleb Williams, you're going to get it together, man. And then Sam Darnold had to do the same thing.
Well, I spoke before about the Texans not sneaking up on anybody. Possible second-year slump. Not slump, but second-year trials and tribulations for sure for the second-year quarterback. But we'll see.
We'll definitely see. Well, man, we're going to take a quick NFL break, man. We're going to go local, baby. We're going to talk high school football. We got my man Jared Boyd from the Hash It Out show. He's going to come on. I got some questions to ask him. They're going to come join us on the show here momentarily. I got to figure out what's going on with their top fives, man. Him and his co-host, they did their top five, so man, we definitely have to dive into that, baby. And we're going to do a little more NFL talk later here on the show. It's Inside the Trenches, baby, right here on ESPN New Orleans, 100.3 FM. Hello, somebody.
Are you looking for wheels?
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car, or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello. Hello, somebody. Boy, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them,
I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to get the biggest smalls. Double patties, bacon, cheese, you name it. Just a delicious burger. And I like to top it off with my favorite, the cookies and cream milkshake. There are 3 delicious flavors: milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, and cookies and cream. Small Sliders. Simple on purpose. Y'all come on and slide through, baby. And let them know that you heard about them on Instagram.
Yes, indeed, baby. We jamming over here. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Favorite, and we're having ourselves a great time. And thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all driving home, enjoying yourselves. We just want to give y'all something good to listen to, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. Now, check this out. If you're hungry, you want to grab your bite to eat, we'll still be here for another 30-some-odd minutes. Why don't y'all come on over here, have that dinner with us, that little snack dinner I like to call it. Just put my order in. So shouts out to my man Rick over here at Marrero 6 for hooking us up, man, feeding my co-host, myself, my guests. We appreciate that. So y'all come on through, get something to eat with us, man. Definitely come enjoy yourselves with us. And look, when y'all get home, shoot, you can go to New Orleans Talk Network and check it out on the live stream. Well, as we promised y'all this fall, we want to talk a little more high school football. And we've been blessed and fortunate enough to have the Hash It Out show been joining us the last few weeks. My man JB and my man VK Jones and my man George, those guys, see how they go to a lot of the high school football games in the area, go on the sideline, film and interview the coaches, and can give us a lot of insight, man. We're excited because this summer we had a lot of high school kids, schools come on. Next week we have Archbishop Shaw. We're going to come down. Coach Hank going to finally come on down here. He came on the show. It was via phone, but I said, Coach, you got to come have a burger with me. He was like,
Super
all
close.
right, babe, I'm going to come have a burger with you, man. All right, goddamn, I'm get the players to come.
Super close.
I'm not coming this week. We just lost a rumble. Yeah, that was his words.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Shouts out to Coach Hank, man. But JB, man, let's get – I want to get straight into it. I'm not going to tally around with it. We could talk about the games you went to here later on in this segment. But I've been paying attention to you guys here the last couple of weeks, and y'all been doing y'all top 5 teams in Louisiana. Now, since you're here, I'm not going to talk about yours.
Okay.
I'm going to let you talk about yours and the why and all of that.
All right.
But VK Jones goes Ruston. He goes Rummel, Neville, Westgate, and Edna Causeway. Now, check this out. He said he's looking at resume. He's looking at resume. So when you start talking resume, you start getting in the coaching staff, winning records, so on and so forth. Then you got Coach George. He's saying Ruston, Neville. At 3, he has Edna Carr, Rummel, and Alexandria. Alexandria's very interesting. They just beat Destrehan out of town. Then we come across my main man, the sports guy himself, JB. JB, yours is a little different. Could you talk to the people about your top 5?
Well, my top 5, I look at who I think is the best team and what they have done. Also, I do include body of work, the teams that they beat. So, to me, number 1, Edna Carr. I really think Edna Carr from top to bottom is the best team throughout the state. Now, my 2 co-hosts, they think that, since Edna Carr missed a game, they should be penalized. That's not their fault that their game against Opelousas got canceled due to Hurricane Francine. But I think Edna Carr, in my opinion, is the best team in the state. That's why they're number 1. Then I have Ruston. Ruston has some quality wins, got a big win over Longview, Texas, in Longview, Texas. That's why I have Ruston number 2. Number 3, Neville. What they have done so far, beating at Evangel, going to Calvary Baptist and beating them. And then Holmes High School out of Mississippi, beating them by 1 point. So Neville looks like a real deal team too. Also, Rummel beating Lafayette Christian Academy, beating University, and then beating Archbishop Shaw. That's why I got Rummel number 4. And then Alexandria, we just talked about what they did to Destrehan, 45-27. That's why these guys are my top 5.
Wow, brother. I'm glad you have all that information down because I wish I had the time to watch more high school football. But in your experience, and obviously I heard you say you had Carr number 1. I'm familiar with the Carr team. Coach Torres Howard over there.
Yeah.
Do you think Carr is number one in your mind? Because, and I heard you say about it work, but is it more of a depth situation than it is for? Because I know that they can give you a starting 22 after they first start in 22, get out of there. So is it more of a depth thing why they're bigger? You feel like they're better, or is it just pure all the way around?
It's both, because top to bottom, position for position, they got talent everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. You name it, from quarterback, running back, receiver, cornerback, safety, defensive tackles, linebackers. They have it, and then some.
Right.
Depth-wise, somebody can get hurt, they can plug somebody in immediately and not miss a step. So that's why both those reasons you said, that's why Edna Carr, number one.
Copy that.
So, okay, all right. I'm looking at y'all also copied and paste the state polls.
Correct.
So Ruston is number one.
Yeah.
They're 3-0. That's 144 votes. But I want to go way down this list.
Okay.
To St. Aug. They're
Yeah.
2-1. They do lose the biggest recruit in the country. But it speaks volumes about the depth on their team. Kid Ty Dominic, we trained him over at Concord. They got a lot of skill positions, but most importantly, I think the biggest thing this year, the biggest difference, and not saying that Coach Foster wasn't a good coach, he's still coaching, very intelligent guy, won a state championship himself with Carr, but what Coach Valdez has done at St. James and even going out to Grambling and doing what he does out there, when you look at this St. Aug team, they're hanging on 10 at 5A, but this team can clearly get to the middle of the pack real quick.
Oh, I think they will. Be honest with you, this St. Aug team is phenomenal. The job Coach Valdez has done in a short amount of time and getting his players to buy in is something magnificent that I've seen. And they're playing well. You got to give Vashawn Coulon, the quarterback, a lot of credit. He's like a game manager, but he's connecting on his passes, finding his open receivers. Defensively, yes, they lost Jakeem, but that defensive line is still real good, especially with Warren Roberts, the Tulane commit, I believe. And you can go on from there. I'm telling you, that is a team to look out for. And that matchup with Edna Carr on October 6th or October 5th,
okay,
that is going to be a determining factor for both teams on who probably will win District 10 5A, the Catholic League.
I do find this very interesting. I want to go to 4A next.
Okay.
Turlin's Catholic, St. Thomas more, Opelousas Westgate. That's why I get the whole Westgate thing for a top team. When you go to that Lafayette area, Cecilia, North DeSoto, but Archbishop Shaw is 10, 1-2 team. They did have a win against West Jeff, but you look at the two Shaw loss.
Yeah.
Rummel, high-ranked team, right? You look at the class of 5A, Rummel's in the conversation at 9, according to the state. Edna Carr, number 2, 5A team, full of talent. Shaw lost pretty bad to them, but they hung in with Rummel.
They did. They hung in for the first half. Had the lead 14-7 at one time. Wow. Went to halftime tied, and then Rummel came out. And like I said last week, Shaw has a problem stopping the run up the middle. And that's their problem right there. And Rummel did exactly that. Norman Taylor, number 5 from Archbishop Rummel, had a total of 187 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Like I said, if Shaw can stop the run, Shaw will be phenomenal. It'll be fine. But right now, that is the only problem that they have. They got Lafayette Christian this week, who also likes to run the ball. Lafayette Christian got a good running back in Jalen Noel. So the key is stopping the run. If they can stop the run, Shaw will be fine. I still think Shaw's going to be fine, but right now, they got to get that fixed.
No, that's real.
Speaking of philosophies, right? You've watched a lot of high school football. You've seen a lot of high school football. We've all partaken. In your opinion, because I realize that a lot of times it is philosophy, and sometimes it's the players that you have. Do you see the better teams running the spread, or do the better teams have a running offense? Which one do you think is a better recipe of winning the state of Louisiana?
Well, it depends, to be honest with you. If you are a very talented team, the spread will work for you. If you're not as talented, I can see the option veer working, power I, but I think the more talented that a team is, that spread can work magnificently for you. If you're not as talented, I can see going back to some old school running game, like I said, the veer. Yeah. So that's how I look at it.
And I only ask you that because, you think of teams like a Rumble. Rumble runs the football.
Yes.
You know, and you think of a team like Carr. Carr has all that talent, but they throw the football.
Correct.
Carr could have Marshall Faulk on the team, but they're going to throw the football.
Right.
You know, and Rummel could have Marshall Faulk on the team, and they would give him the ball 25 times.
Yes.
So I only ask that because, you know, it's such a philosophy and it's such a back and forth. Who do we think is the best? And at the end of the day, the best teams always seem to be able to run the football when everybody knows they're going to run the football. So we'll have waited breath to see about that later.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for you to come on again, bro.
Speaking of running football, many men, Brian Robinson just scored, which that looks good on my fantasy because I had him starting tonight. So that's definitely a good thing. 7-7 tied up here as we watch the Heisman Trophy Bayou Bengal Bowl. So we got a tied-up game right here.
And Buffalo is blowing out Jacksonville 20-0. 23 right now. It's just.
That's definitely a wild story. It really is. Wow.
Per course.
I mean, you gonna hang around with us a little bit?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay, because we're gonna talk about this Monday Night Football game, getting a little bit of fantasy betting and all of that stuff. But before we take our quick break here, talk to us about y'all next episode. Y'all film tomorrow. What's going to be the main thing that y'all talking about? Is it y'all top 5 going back at that, or is it any particular game y'all may focus on?
So tomorrow we're going to do our show live. We do our shows live Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tomorrow we're going to start at 7 o'clock on YouTube. JB the Sports Guy is the YouTube page. You can go on and see the show. We're going to talk a little bit of LSU and Saints first. We're going to start there first. Then we're going to interview Coach James D'Artes, the head coach of Baker High School.
Yeah, you were out there this weekend.
I was there, yeah. They're 3-0. He's going to join us on the show. We're going to talk about some of the games that happened in high school football, and then we're going to talk about our top 5, get to everybody why we got these teams ranked, you know, and probably get on VK's list a little bit, you know.
Yeah. VK got the controversial list. I'm not going to lie. He does. Well, he's Jared Boy, the sports guy, baby. JB, the sports guy. Y'all make sure y'all go to y'all Instagrams right now and follow the Hash It Out Show. Great content in their YouTube page, JB Sports Guy. Y'all go on there, check out. Hey, I'm telling you, boy, they go at it on there, but I love it because it's for the high school kids. Right. Well, y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be back, man. We're live here at Small Sliders Marrero. We're going to have to talk about a little bit of sports betting, fantasy football. There's Monday Night Football going on. It's Inside the Trenches, baby, on ESPN New Orleans.
Platinum is unbelievably rare.
Platinum in the world was poured into an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
The platinum would barely reach your ankles.
But gold would fill 3 pools.
Platinum has always been crazy expensive.
I never thought it would happen. But right now, a platinum ring at Ramsey's Diamond Jewelers
is only about $450 more than the same ring in white gold.
Platinum is heavier than gold, so it feels more luxurious.
And platinum is far more durable than gold.
Diamonds mounted in platinum look amazing.
We've got platinum engagement rings
and platinum wedding bands.
The time to buy platinum is now.
We'd love to make some custom platinum jewelry for you.
Platinum is exotic, rare, and beautiful.
Come to Ramsey's Diamond Jewelers and take a look.
And now, my tiger friend Tony is going to tell you what you already know.
Ramsey's Diamond Jewelers, the largest diamond store in Louisiana, on Veterans between Bonneville and West End in Metairie.
What's up, South Louisiana and surrounding areas? It's the host of Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans, Marlon Big Favorite. Are you an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman? Maybe you're the parent of an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. Well, holler at the folks at Conquer Sports, 504-350-1218. Again, that number is 504-350-1218. Conquer Sports Pros. Let's make it happen, baby. Hello, somebody. Well, hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Favorite. Did you know they had a Small Sliders on the West Bank? 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Slide through. They simple on purpose. You can get you a burger, a drink, and a fry at a reasonable price, and you won't leave there disappointed. Make your way on over to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero, Louisiana, and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches.
Hello, somebody. This is Robert Wolf. If you are in need of construction or real estate services, project management services, give us a call at 504-393-2445.
Well, hello. Like Rob just said, hit up Robert Wolf Construction and Real Estate for your real estate and construction needs. And let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches with Marlon Wright on ESPN New Orleans. Hello, somebody.
You got me. Galaxy safe once again.
Sometimes kids play with pretend guns. It's up to us to make sure they don't play with real ones. Keep yours stored locked and unloaded. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
I'm just like legit over here trying to make a decision, right? Decisions are you get. Like CL's laughing at me because he doesn't do sports betting, but I'm on my ESPN bet app right now, and it's like, Etienne, are you gonna score a touchdown?
Itching the cash out.
I'm itching the cash out, and look, the stakes, it just went down again. I gotta make a decision. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host Marlon, Big Favorite, right? And we live at Small Sliders, man. We got my man JB, the sports guy, hanging around with us still. Jay, don't leave us now. Don't leave us. I know you got your say so about the. Do you do a little bit of sports betting or a little bit, maybe a little fantasy FanDuel or something?
I do a little sports betting. You know, I usually bet on games. I don't do like the best you do with the players, but I usually do games.
No parlay, yeah?
Yeah, parlay, yes.
I'm trying to parlay this thing out.
I don't even know what a parlay is.
Bijan Robinson has scored. Derrick Henry has scored. Kyron Williams has scored. And James Cook scored tonight. I just need Travis Etienne. Speaking of scoring, men, my fantasy league looking good with and folks probably riding right now. What is he talking, singing 50 Cent? Man, your boy, you know, he did get shot, Brian Robinson.
He did.
And then played the next week. And then they had people cracking jokes on the internet saying this man got shot and got back out there for Michael Thomas. They just messed with Mike so bad, bro. They really did. But that game is now, 7-7 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds in the first quarter, and the Bengals have the ball. They moving it. Let's just talk about this matchup, guys. It's something as an LSU fan you love to see. I know right now my co-host with LSU Sports Radio, Hunt Palmer's all in front of the TV happy because he loved these two quarterbacks. He do, y'all. But JB, man, when you look at this matchup, you got Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Those are the guys from the 2019 team. And then you have Jaden Daniels. He's on a team that has some capable guys. You got Luke McCaffrey. Looks like he's going to be a starter. I mean, he's one of the main players with them. And, you know, I just kind of look at this Washington team as a decent defense, but they just got one heck of a quarterback.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, I think in due time with the Commanders, you're going to see them get better and better, especially if they put the pieces around Jaden Daniels. I know they went out and got Austin Eckler, so I'm waiting to see how they use him. But in due time, man, I think Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaughlin, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. With the Bengals already, I mean, we know about them with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow. And, you know, they always do start off slow. 0-2 right now. I think last year they were 0-3. But right after about 3 or 4 games is when they start to pick it up. So I think we're going to see that happen. I think the Bengals will be fine.
Yeah, see, one of the highlights in this game so far, Joe Burrow hit Jamar Chase for a 41-yard touchdown. Those guys got immediately – they jumped on that immediately when Jamar came into the league. Right. Forced to reckon with year one for Jamar. He goes to the Super Bowl. Do you see that dynamic duel wreaking havoc as we start to approach the middle of the season, so on and so forth? Or you think it's figured out?
Nah, figured out. He just went 20-something yards for a touchdown. I don't think they have problems figuring it out. I think the problems with the Bengals is keeping Joe Burrow healthy. That's the only problem I think the Bengals have. I think the Bengals are a legitimate threat to the Kansas City Chiefs and the AFC. I do believe the Bengals, and just like JB said, you know, they start off slow. Some teams just start off slow. Think about it. They don't play preseason. Maybe the first 2 games are really like, you know, glorified preseason games with the starters, you know. So it takes time to gel. The one thing I think a lot of fans fall off of in life and reality is things take time to gel, especially a team that deals with injuries, especially a team that has free agents and wasn't there last year. So especially a new coordinator. Things take time to gel. In the National Football League, it's all about the longevity of it and not the sprint.
No doubt. Okay, so, right, into the first quarter, let's look at this by numbers, guys. You got Jaden Daniels. He's 3 for 3, 52 yards. Joe Burrow, 8 for 9, 82 yards, that one touchdown pass. Austin Eckler, we're trying to see how he's going to get involved. He has 1 carry for 8 yards, and, of course, they had Robinson punch it in. We got Zach Moss. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. He's just always kind of been like a midi running back to me. I don't know. 3 yards for yeah,
it's a committee. It's a committee.
He is. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Luke McCaffrey, 30 yards so far, 1 reception. Of course, legit 3 receptions, 58 yards, and 1 touchdown. Man, I mean, Jared, that sounds about right. But, I mean, for Jaden Daniels, you don't really have a big-time receiver on your receiver corps.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, Terry McLaughlin is good, but he's not top-notch receiver.
Well, this is my thing. Scary Terry.
Okay.
I won't say he's a top 15 receiver in this league.
Would you give him a tier 2 receiver?
Oh, I definitely give him tier 2
Okay,
receiver.
yeah,
the problem is he doesn't have somebody on the other side of him, so they can double team him all day long. I mean, name the tight end in Washington.
Well, don't they
you
have?
Can't. Thank you.
No, they got no, they don't have Shaw.
You can't.
Let me pull up.
So the guy on the other side of Scary Terry is a rookie. Now he's good, but he's a rookie. So you always need a compliment when you have a star player. And without a compliment, that star player his shine can be dimmed because you can double team him and take him away and make somebody else beat you.
That goes back to my point of saying that Jaden Daniels needs more pieces around him.
Correct.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. I thought they had from Philly.
And he hasn't shown
this
up.
Ain't Zach Ertz from Philly.
It's week 3 and we haven't called his name.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
But you are hearing Luke McCaffrey, and I think that's surprising because we didn't hear what he went to Rice. He went to an American conference team. He played against the Tulane. So
right.
It's still a risk take bringing him in. I mean, the pedigree is there, obviously, with his dad and his brother. But
they will find you. They will find you.
But I guess the point I was making, that's true. The point I was making, I guess you're making that same point.
Yeah, they're going to find you.
Cincinnati, Joe Burrow has more weapons.
T. Higgins is a number 1 in any other team in the National Football League.
That's
He's
correct.
forced to be a 2 in Cincinnati and not get paid.
Yeah, I mean, you got to factor that in, fellas.
That's right.
I made a good point. That's real talk. So, I mean, that's still I'm going to still stick to my guns. I think Jaden Daniels he ends up being the rookie of the year. I just feel like eventually that guy is going to turn on. This isn't LSU where you can run around. It's still Power 5 talent, but, I mean, what we saw him do at LSU is just damn near next to none, Jared.
It was phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. I mean, LSU is what the new wide receiver 1, you could call it.
1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that could happen in the NFL.
I want to talk about, I know we were doing Monday Night Football, and we'll give our listeners a couple of updates, but I really want to look into this Saints schedule. You know, let's look at the rest of this month and going into October. The Falcons, surprising all of us. We like, man, they about to be a disaster. They brought Kirk Cousins in. They drafted the first-round quarterback and Michael Penix Jr. Man, they're getting it done. The Chiefs, they're not the same Chiefs from last year. I mean, with the refs and Taylor Swift, I still think that they're going to be in the AFC Championship.
Right.
See how you're shaking your head? You know it's real, bro.
They're a hard beat. Pause.
The Bucks, now, you know, they do lose one game. They were well on their way to be 3-0. But the Broncos put it on them. Pause. What's all these pause moments? They beat them. That's what happened.
Oh,
right.
pause.
Man, it's like you can't get around the pauses. You just got to pause the tape every time.
What it is.
All right. So the Saints take on the Broncos, which seem like that may be a more interesting game now, the way that they're playing, huh?
It is, and it's Sean Payton coming back home.
On a Thursday night.
On a Thursday night. So, you know Sean Payton doesn't want to come here and lose to his former team, and you know the Saints do not want to lose to Sean Payton. You heard Cam. Cam said he's not even taking his hand until after the game.
Oh, man.
Well, I could tell y'all now, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be shaking Coach Payton's hand after the game.
Oh,
so
man.
It just is what it is. I would if I was going to get close enough to him. But my point
My point
that I was trying to make is I want you guys to go back and look at the percentage of wins that we get when we don't have a 12 o'clock game, when we have a 3 o'clock game and a 7 o'clock game, because those fans, a la me and everybody else, gets a chance to get a little more lathered up. You know, because when you wake up on NFL Sunday, especially in New Orleans, it's a rush. It's a rush to get to the tailgate. It's a rush to put on a uniform. It's a rush to get in Champion Square. It's a rush to get to where you get at in the Dome. On a 3 o'clock game, a 7 o'clock game, oh my God, baby, we sitting back, we drinking that breakfast, that shrimp and grits, we drinking. So I think Coach knows that the Saints, and as well as the team, as well as it's a ritual. They're gonna be lathered up for that game Thursday night for sure.
You sure people getting off of work at 5 o'clock? You sure they're gonna be lathered up in time?
Oh, you think people work during the week on the same game?
I do.
Oh, yeah. I don't know people that work during the Saints game. They be at work. Downtown. They be at work, but they ain't working.
Oh, they calling off early because it's always a traffic thing. I know my wife works downtown. She's like, that traffic gets on her nerves. I don't want to go today.
Call around there about 4:30. They're going to stop and ask, baby, we ain't doing nothing. It's over with.
Turn it to a mini Mardi Gras.
Call tomorrow. They just going to say call tomorrow. Or they just not going to answer the phone. That's natural in New Orleans.
Now, there's another October game. I know we mentioned the Broncos. That's the 17th. That's a Thursday. But then they come back and they play the Chargers. Now, one thing about
away
Jim
Chargers
is that is away.
Yes,
that's
in
an
LA.
away game. It's in L.A. Good for them. That'd be nice breeze out there around Halloween. But what I like about that matchup, y'all, that team's going to run. J.K. Dobbins is toting the rock. And
yes,
I just hope by the time we get there, our run defense improves a little more. That's all. It's not horrible.
No, it's not.
Saquon did his thing, but to the point of, just looking at this going into October schedule, we want to tighten that up.
Oh, without a doubt. That's the first thing you want to do. Stop the run, make them pass on 3rd and long. And, I mean, the Saints have always been a great team that has stopped the run for years now, especially with Dennis Allen. Yeah. So I see the Saints getting better and better at stopping the run. Saquon, think about it. Saquon broke 165-yarder, and then he had a couple other big runs. So it happened.
Well,
but they'll be all right.
Yeah, even to give it more perspective, you realize they dominated us in time of possession in the first half.
Correct.
And then they got the ball coming out. So the defense was tired probably mid-3rd quarter. So for them to give up that pop run to Saquon for the 60-yard pop, it happens. It literally happens. And I think even Marshawn was surprised at the speed of Saquon when he got across that field, when he got to that end zone. So, I think the defense will be just fine. The offense needs to help the defense by running the football more, and I think Taysom is the key to all of that coming back, not to jump off.
I'm cooling, and we're going to stay on subject. We're talking about it all. I'm looking at this Monday Night Football. Watch Jaden. Takes off running, doing his Jaden Daniels thing, and had a guy wide open. And that's kind of what the critics were talking about. You don't have to take off running all the time. Now, he did get a first down. And for our folks driving, if y'all don't, obviously y'all not home yet, it's 7-7 in the second quarter, 13-43. And then I'll go to the Buffalo game. Buffalo beating them 27-3. NTN, could you please get in the end zone? Right? It's 4th and 18, so you know what that's about to be about. They're probably about to punt it. Yeah, it's not looking good for – yeah, this is the home team. I think Jacksonville is at home. Yeah, this is weird. So, I mean, it's all to the grave. No, they're in Buffalo.
Because Monday night in Jacksonville is no fun for anybody.
You ain't never lying.
Shouts out to Duval.
Look, I went playing arena ball. We played the Jacksonville Sharks twice. I mean, it gets hot and muggy out there. It's a beautiful city, right? But it's just nothing to do.
Beautiful bridges, lights on. Y'all like the lights on our bridges? They got 1 million bridges in Jacksonville. Beautiful.
With the lights on, and it's just, it gets you that whole Florida thing. It's just not Miami. That's the only thing.
A lot of water.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. We still here at Small Sliders, baby, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Next week, we'll be joined by the Shaw Eagles, so we're going to have this thing packed out here. If you're a Shaw alum or somewhat of a Shaw alum like me, make sure JB know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all come on over here. Coach Hank will be I would say in the building, but it's the can over here. He'll be outside with us and his coaching staff and a few of the players. And I think Shaw's still an interesting story. I still think they will compete in 4A. I look at a team like Shaw, look at U-High when you start talking select, non-select. And, Coach Hank will get it done for sure. But, fellas, when we come back here, we're going to probably talk a little more fantasy football. Keep y'all up to breast with this game here. It's Inside the Trenches, man. I'm got my man JB, the sports guy, will hash it out show, and my man CL Nola joining me here. Hey, we got one more segment, baby. Y'all don't go anywhere. It's Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans. Watch out there now.
Are you looking for wheels, but you needed
Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon Big Favorite. And when I'm hungry, I like to make my way to Small Sliders, 1635 Barataria Boulevard, Marrero, Louisiana. Simple on purpose. When I tell you their burgers are delicious, have some great sauce on them, I'm telling you, when you're just hungry and just need to grab a quick bite, this is the perfect place for you. Small Sliders. The customer service is nice. It's somewhere you can bring the family, hang out and chill, enjoy the atmosphere. Now I'm a big boy, so when I like to take my Small Sliders, I like to
scores on Georgia's defense. So that's where it's going to come down to, in my opinion.
Now check this out, CL. I like the numbers. You're looking at two teams that's ready to go head to head, right? You got 65.6% Alabama win, 34.4 Georgia. Talking about a turn of tables. But you have Carson Beck. I said Stepson. He's already in the NFL.
Carson Beck.
Yeah, he's in the Rams.
Yep.
But Carson Beck, right, 58 for 82, 680 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jalen Milroe, 35 for 52, 592 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Both of them have stellar running backs, and Etienne for Georgia, Miller for Alabama. Man, CL, this will be a nice matchup, brother.
Baby, this is a reason to get excited.
Yes.
You know, you have two powerhouses. You know, no matter how you feel about the new head coach in Alabama, it's a tale of two tales, but it's two powerhouses going at each other. In some circles, they might call this a snobber knocker. I wouldn't be mad at the outcome, whatever it is, but it's definitely going to be a tough hard-fought game.
One heck of a matchup. Now, Texas is on the road. They are the #1 team in the country.
Yes, they are.
I don't care who's at quarterback, Ayers or Manning. It don't matter. They take on Mississippi State this weekend.
Well, and that is the draw, right? You want to see if Arch really is that guy still moving forward while the quarterback is still injured, waiting to come back. You want to see, you know, they played San Antonio, and he went off, and you was like, it was San Antonio. Now this is a bigger matchup. This is an SEC team where they have grown young men on the defensive line. They have linebackers that run just as fast as Arch now. We're playing Mississippi State, and I think this is the prove-it game to Arch, because ultimately I think he's going to lose the job anyway when the young man comes back off of injury. But could he hold them out just another week? And I think that's must-see TV, obviously being a #1 team.
Well, man, time fly, clip his wings, especially when you're having a good time, man. We got a few more minutes left on the show. There's so many games. Of course, I'm repping for LSU. I mean, we should
South
beat
Alabama.
Pretty good. I mean, South Alabama did beat up on your old team pretty bad. They put up basketball points on Northwestern State. But we'll leave that right there. I had to mess with my son about that. I think Ohio State, Michigan State will be a decent game. But the game that I really have my eyes on, guys, and it's not that both of these teams will wow you one way or the other, but Arkansas and Texas A&M. Now, Arkansas isn't ranked. Texas A&M is 24. But Arkansas played a very, very tight game this past weekend against Auburn, and they beat Auburn 24-14. I think that matchup is going to be pretty good. Nice SEC matchup between 2 3-1 teams. Well, y'all, man, we want to take this time to thank my main man, T-Bob Hebert, for coming on the show earlier. Yep. Y'all check them out Monday through Friday on this station right here, 100.3 FM on Off the Bench, him and my main man, Jacob Hester. And shouts out to my main man, JB, the sports guy, baby. Came in and stick around with us, too. Talk a little high school football with us. Y'all make sure y'all check out Hash It Out Show on Instagram. They'll be on YouTube tomorrow. For all our sponsors, we love y'all. Thank y'all for all that y'all do. Small Sliders, baby, we here. We'll be back next Monday. We're going to have the Shaw Eagles with us. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN New Orleans. Hello, somebody. What's up, South Louisiana and surrounding areas? It's the host of Inside. Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody.
It's the host of Inside the Trenches podcast, Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Did you know Small Sliders had an app? You can go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store right now, download the Small Sliders app in Marrero, and order your food right now. You want to get a number 2? Well, slide through. 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Small Sliders, simple on purpose. Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 15